Hey, what's up, Ice? Let me ask you a
Matty
question.
Ice.
Let me ask you a question, bro. You think Gavin Newsom gonna be our next president, man? You hear a lot of talk about it. What you think?
At the rate we're going now, this is a good shot that he might be president because, like I was saying, we talk about this offline all the time. Democrats, they're weak. Let's just call it what it is. They're weak, and a lot of them just don't have that fight. And Gavin, he got that fight. He got that fight him. He got that dog in him, and he takes it to Trump every single day. That's what Democrats are looking for. That's what the country's looking for. They're looking for a fighter. Now, if you look at the polls, I saw some polls, and they had Kamala Harris. I'm like,
Oh
how
man,
is she still in the running of this thing, man?
have you seen her,
She was
bro? Have
right
you seen
behind
her?
him.
Have you seen her,
Yeah,
bro?
and I'm like, Kamala, like, I love, for a woman to be president at some point in time, a woman has to be president. But I just think the country is not ready for it. But back to Gavin, I want to talk about Gavin a little bit. The trolling is working. The trolling, and you hear Fox News. I mean, for the life of me, their heads are exploding every single time he trolls them, and they say, "Oh, you trying to copy the president? There's only one president, Donald Trump." But they don't realize is that he's actually mocking Trump. He's mocking Trump, and just I think Gavin got a good shot if he keeps playing his cards right. I think we're looking at the next president of the United States. But anything can happen. There's still a lot of time between that time, but things are trending in the right direction.
I'll say this, man. He's doing a few things right. Um, he's putting boots to ass. We haven't seen a Democrat do that in a very, very long time. I mean, think about this. Not even JD Just Dance Vance can save Trump from the disastrous maps war he has started, right? I mean, it's just, and I will say this: one of the most bold moves I've seen is I got it right here, man. This little like, you know, picture he put out, man. He had Hulk Hogan with the halo. Well, is that Tucker Carlson and Kid Rock?
All the MAGA lights. Yeah.
Yeah, praising him, bro. That's some ballsy move, bro. And they say he put out the Vanity Fair kind of trolling Melania. Like, man, this dude been doing some ballsy stuff, but I think this is what it shows you. The Democrats have been getting punched and punched and punched and punched and boom! The Republicans have been beating them down. And I think what Gavin is showing you is like, you have to fight back, right? When Texas says, hey, you know
Yep.
what? We're going to redistrict we're going to gerrymander the shit out of our maps. Guess what? They already have gerrymandered the fuck out of their maps. Then California says, hey, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to redo our redistricting. Oh my God. Oh. He's teaching you all something. You have to fight back. You may not like it. It may not feel normal, but you have to punch back. That's the political time we're in. It's not good, it's not always right, but you have to fight back to keep the other side honest. So I do give him credit for doing that. Now this is my thing, bro. Will the Democrats sabotage Gavin Newsom? I mean, that's a different question to ask, but they've known to sabotage their movements. AOC, sabotaged. Bernie, sabotaged. That juice Obama had, sabotaged. So they've been
Sabotage.
right? They've been sabotaging their candidates, right? So it's kind of like, oh my, it's almost like somebody in the DOC, the DNC says, hey, you know what? How can we elect somebody who doesn't have charisma, doesn't have juice, and the people don't effing like? Yes, that's our person. So I don't put it past the DNC to potentially ruin this.
Yeah, and that's a great point because they always looking for this centrist person, this centrist candidate that can appeal to the middle class and appeal to the working class and appeal to rural America. And you realize that, man, ain't no middle class, ain't no middle, not middle class, but there is no middle. It's either extreme right, far left, and then you got 90 million people that's just not even tapped into politics at all. Now, if you want to get those folks, then you got to speak to them and their specific problems. Now, we'll see if Gavin Newsom is able to do that because, to my recollection, a few years ago, Gavin Newsom was in the toilet. Nobody wanted to touch this guy, especially with all the stuff that happened in COVID during COVID times when he was telling everybody, oh, you got to have your mask on, man, the mandate, the mandate. And bro was out here at parties without no mask on. He was just like people ain't gonna let that up, right? And that's one of the things. And like I said, shout out to California, man. They be putting out bangers. Tupac,
Oh, come on, bro.
California, man. Gotta get some California love out here. You know what I mean? And I just think it's going to be a real interesting matchup because my thing is, who's really, who do you got on the Democratic side? I mean, do you have AOC? I mean, I like AOC, but let's be real. Like, I don't know if the country is ready to see a woman president. Unfortunately, I have to say that because I think women are qualified to to be president, but just not where the country's at. So AOC probably not. Pete Buttigieg, I don't think the country's ready to see a openly gay man either. Unfortunately, again, unfortunately. And then you have Gretchen Whitmer, which is the she's the governor of Michigan. I mean, I think she's two-term governor. She did a phenomenal job, built the roads. What you say, repair the roads. But unfortunately, I mean, another woman. So I think the Democrats, they got talent, they got a strong bench, but I think Gavin is the only one that's like bringing the fight to the party, and I think people want to fight her in this day and age.
And then they got to ask the Democrats got to ask themselves one important question: what is their platform going to be going into 2028? We already know what the Republicans' platform is going to be. Socialist, liberal Democrats are coming for you. It's gonna be. They're gonna go back the Republicans gonna go back. They're gonna dust out the old playbook. It's gonna have a touch of dust on it. It won't even be digital, bro. It's gonna be a paper playbook, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna dust out the old plays. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what do we do? What
Yeah, the
do we
greatest
do?
hits.
Yeah. Blame immigrants. Yeah. What do we do? DEI gotta die. Yes. You're gonna run the same playbooks, man. So you got to come up with your own playbook. And you're right, Ivory. There is no middle class. It's just some motherfucker in the middle of your cash. That's where we are right now. And they have to take on. I think I give AOC and Bernie some credit for that, for having some form of a populist agenda. I think if you partner that with the fight for Gavin Newsom, you might have a pretty good like thing going for 2028. But we want to really hear your thoughts as well too. My bad, Ice. I was about to say something.
Yeah, I was about to throw it in there. I just want to say this real quick. I don't know about that. The country is looking for two things. Throw policy out. You would think it's policy, but the country is angry. So they're looking for somebody who also is angry. And two, they're looking for somebody who's a fighter. And unfortunately, Democrats, they don't produce fighters. They produce policy wonks. Those are the people that's like, on section 3 of article 4 in the executive order, it's like, no, man, no. Unfortunately, I mean, we elected a man who ran on no policy, and he just ran on grievances, and he had those two things. And that's it. And he became president. Kamala had an agenda, and people still said, you know what? Nah, $20,000 for down payment on a home. Nah, we good. Student loan. Student loans. Can we get student loans canceled? Nah, we good. We don't want that. Or hey, you know what? How about child care? Being able to have funds for child care. Nah, we good on that. We want somebody who want grievances, who angry, and who just gonna spew the stuff that we feel. And unfortunately, we can't keep voting like that.
No, we can't. We can't. But we want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you go to UnitedBlackVoters.com. Fill out the survey. Also check us out on BlackAgenda2028.com. And we want to hear what your thoughts are. And honestly, who you think might be our next president. I mean, obviously, we're talking about Democrats because we kind of feel that it might end up being a Democrat just for some of the stuff that the Republicans have been doing. But it could be a Republican. It could be Just Dance, JD Vance. It could be a lot of different candidates. We want to hear your thoughts. So make sure you share, like, and most importantly, what, Ivory?
Subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subs. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Take care, everybody.